You're listening to the Cantina Cast, your home for thought-provoking Star Wars talk. Join Adler and Jonesy in breaking down the latest news, trailers, movies, and of course, your favorite characters from a galaxy far, far away.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Cantina Cast. My name is Howard Padilla, and this is episode 430, our finally breakdown of the Season 3 Mandalorian trailer that was premiered exclusively at Star Wars Celebration, but thanks to the advent of the internet and piracy, we have it available now for all of us to view, and we're going to break down every minute of it. For a trailer that had quite a bit of quick shots, and it generated a lot of excitement, a lot of buzz. And hopefully we'll get into some nuts and bolts of what possibly they could have been showing there. So speaking of, let's see.
Let's not go with nuts and bolts.
No, I'm not going to go with nuts and bolts. I'm going to go with Buzz. Let's go with the Buzz. The Buzz is here. That's not your name. Jonesy's with us tonight. Jonesy, welcome to the show. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, man. I got to say, I am so proud of you because you have finally cleaned up your office and you have a spectacular looking background behind you. That is really impressive, man. Nicely done.
Yeah, I finally took down the green screen. I'm like, all right, I need to grow up here and enough with the game. So, but yeah, it's still a work in progress. I've got some stuff up. I've got my my Darth Malgus. I finally get to
we're
display that,
twinsies.
show it off. Do you have yours here too? Oh yeah, he's right behind the microphone there. Yep.
Yep.
So I've got a couple other things still that I need to unbox and kind of that I've been storing away and haven't really got around to putting up. But yeah, it's coming along well. Like there's some holes here where the books I need to put more books in, and I have plenty of books. I just
right. You have no shortage. Yeah,
no shortage of books. But how are you doing tonight?
Doing well, man. It's been a while. I'm glad to be kind of back in the saddle, as they say.
Yeah. It's been it seems like Lauren's already chimed in. She says it seems like forever. It probably has been. Oh, that's
Sky,
Sky. Sorry. It seems like it's been forever. It does look like, or it feels like it has been forever. So, and Lauren says looks amazing. Thanks, Lauren. Appreciate that. But thanks for everybody for joining us, and sorry about the quick staycation. I don't know. We just had stuff going on. That was all. All right, let's enough of the jibba jabba, as Mr. T would say. We've got a little bit of news that you've thrown in here. I have not even read any of this. So what do we got?
Right. I mean, well, you may have heard that there was a little thing called San Diego Comic-Con was last weekend, right?
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
So all sorts of, I mean, Lucasfilm was there. Star Wars is kind of back with a flourish at San Diego Comic-Con, which is really cool.
They kind of backed out last year, didn't they?
Last year, a few years ago, they pretty much stopped going and because they were going to focus on Celebration. But yeah, now they're back, and the publishing panel was out there, which was even stranger, right? For a comic convention to do mostly books. I mean, they did comics as well, but it's High Republic season. I think that, long story short, it's here. And we know the advanced reader copies are already starting to go out for the very first wave. Yeah, they're starting to trickle out. So hopefully we'll see some of those come soon. But man, they released the opening crawl for Phase 2, which was really cool. It's all out there on StarWars.com. We'll have a link to it in the show notes. But there's Phase 2 concept art. On the High Republic show today that got released. Today's Thursday, or no, yesterday. Today's Friday, right? So yesterday or whatever it came out. And so, yeah, but anyway, if you want to go read anything about High Republic, man, it's all over StarWars.com. So many people are posting about it from San Diego Comic-Con. A lot of great buzz. Early indications are really promising. All the major authors were out there again promoting everything. So it was really cool. That's High Republic. And then, of course, Wednesday, we had a Disney Plus release of Light and Magic, which is a 6-part documentary of the history of industrial light and magic, which is really cool. And I posted out there on social media. Yeah. You and I love this behind the scenes stuff, especially with ILM. Yeah. Such a storied history already, but watching as you like to say, the sausage get made is pretty exciting the way these guys did it and how they just built stuff out of absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Frankenstein. Yep.
And really created a lot of the technology that we've relied on and really built off of for the last 45 years. So it's really something.
Very cool. I have not had a chance to watch that yet.
I haven't either.
I've really seen the Phase 2 stuff. Although I've been keeping up with it, I've not actually gone out and seen it. So looking forward to, maybe we'll do something with that. I mean, at some point we are going to have to kind of do a Season 2, Phase 2 kickoff kind of thing with the High Republic. And then we've been putting off the breakdown of the stuff that was released at what's that thing called? Celebration, or whatever it's called.
Right.
we've not had a chance to dig into that, but we said we are going to do a show. So there will be something coming that's going to be primarily focused around Phase 2 and the High Republic, and we'll include everything from Celebration and anything up into that date as well. But pretty close, getting closer
And I
to
have
doing
to
so there.
say, I am in absolute love with Rachel Stott.
Hmm.
And because they released the cover of one of the variants for issue 1 of the High Republic
Is
comic.
she writing that or penciling?
No, she's just on a variant. And then Rod Race did
wow.
one too. And oh my goodness, both of those covers are absolutely amazing. But Rachel Stott, every time she gets involved with Star Wars, which I don't think is very often, but she did, several months back. And and every time I see it, I just want to go buy that immediately whenever they publish it and put it out there. It's always just stunning. She's an amazing artist. And
Yeah.
I love seeing her in Star Wars.
Yep. Yeah, she goes really well with them. So hopefully we'll see more of her in the near future. Okay. Oh boy, I was gonna pull this up. I didn't pull the video up. I didn't find a really clean one. So why don't we do that first?
I'll tell you what, while you do that,
yeah.
special thank you to all of our Patreon members. And we have a little announcement we want to make for the Patreon as well.
Oh, do we have an announcement?
Well, we have a show that we want to get people interested in. So anyway, special thank you to our now part of the tribe members who are Mike, Kathy, Rob, Lauren, Dante, and Cole. And then Delusions of Grandeur, of course, Rod. Thank you guys so much for contributing to the show, helping things keep running. Everything you guys put into it, we put right back into the show. And what's really cool is that every month we will do we call it Fact Boy. That's how I like to say it. So from a certain point of view, and we like to invite people onto the show, and we've kind of retooled it a bit to do kind of one of these top 3 moments or top 3 of this or top events of whatever we kind of come up with for the week. And as we get close to Andor, you had the fantastic idea of let's do top 3 moments from Rogue One, which I think was going to be a fantastic idea. So we're going to do that show right now. It's planned to do August 18th. So if you are a Patreon member at one of those tiers, please put your name into the hat. Let us know that you're interested. We will reach out to you guys. And if you're not at one of those tiers, please go and take a look at it over at cantinacast.com/Patreon. And you can see how you can get involved to be eligible for it or be even guaranteed if you're interested. If you're at the Rod level, we should almost just nickname it the Rod level for the Delusions of Grandeur. But
yeah, that's one of the perks is you get it named after you, I guess.
Yeah, and hey, it heads up, the Patreon website has changed considerably in the last day. So they have refreshed the website. So I am still learning to get around it, even from the creator point of view. So if you struggle with it, trying to find things, just ping me. You can find me on Discord, cantinacast.com/Discord, or of course on social media, and we'll get you pointing in the right direction. But just a heads up, even if you're familiar with Patreon, everything looks very different right now.
Yeah, I saw that they had released something saying, "Hey, we've changed the new look and all that," but I've not had a chance to go out there and take a look.
It looks nice and clean, yeah. And they're going to be doing more, so we'll see where it evolves to.
Yeah,
but yeah. So August 18th, I'll give you the cutoff date as we get a little further into August here. So in the next week or so, we'll get you an actual date. But please go check out Patreon, and I will start reaching out to folks here in the next week or so.
Yep. And we also, so speaking of, and I'm excited about the Rogue One kind of Patreon episode because
it's always honestly, up there with people's top movies.
Well, yeah, and that's exactly it. I was going to say the same thing. It's just, I mean, how cool is it to finally discuss, it's always cool to talk about Rogue One. And there's so many great moments that I'm excited to hear what some of our Patreon members have to say about that. Okay, well, I still don't have the video up, but we can probably just talk through this here. If you've not had a chance, it is out there. So just going to some backstory here. The video was released again at Celebration. There was a smaller clip, and then they released a longer clip that came out a little bit later. On top of that, it was pretty hush-hush. There was a bad version that was out there. And about 2 weeks ago, someone finally released another cammed video of the trailer, the longer trailer. I think it tips in right at just over 2 minutes, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And that one, the first one was kind of missing some things at the very beginning. The first part of it was cut off. This one is, I would say, is probably better in terms of what you can see. It's still kind of grainy, of course,
but the audio is all cut off. Yeah,
the audio is
You can't win.
Exactly, the audio is not as good as the first one, so it's just give or take whichever one you want. So if you've not had a chance to watch it, if you go out there and just type in Mandalorian Season 3 trailer, It should come up, although I can't find it. Oh, by the way, let me just you can cut this out, Jonesy, if you want to. As an aside, believe it or not, I am actually recording this episode on a PC, and I feel absolutely disgusting dirty that I'm doing this. But
he's a Mac boy.
I'm a Mac boy, true and true.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got like 3 Mac books over here, but
He does.
I was just trying to consolidate everything down so that I could have one computer that I would record on and play my games on, et cetera, et cetera. The reason I mentioned that was because on my Mac, when I type in Mandalorian Season 3 trailer and hit enter in Safari, it's the second thing that comes up. But when I do it on Chrome, I get nothing. Like it's all kinds of, it's not the same search results. I don't know what the algorithms are. I'm sure they've got their own, but that's why I've not had a chance to find it. So
see, a more legitimate gripe, Albert, would have been when I go to YouTube and I plug in Mandalorian Season 3 trailer, I get fake ones where people have gone and used Season 2 footage and made their own fan trailer and then said it's Season 3. I hate that crap.
I hate that too. It's like, I get it. I mean, it's fine for people, but I mean, someone should put a disclosure, some level of disclosure on there saying, hey, this is fan-made video. Don't waste your time. But usually within the first 10 seconds, you're like, okay, this is not the real thing. You can tell.
But I'm so tired of clickbait and stuff like that. Hey, and to go back to Patreon for a minute. I have something here. I was showing you. Actually, and I don't know if I can get these to show up very well, but Stephanie she made these pins on, I think like Sticker Mule or something. And so for the next Patreon episode that we do with the Patreon members, what I'm going to do is everybody that appears on that show will get one of these little pins, these little acrylic Cantina Cast pins.
Oh, nice. I like what you've done there. I didn't know about this.
Yeah. And so
and then after that, you have to wear it if you come on to the show. It's like,
that's right. But it's like a little badge of honor, and it's just a little thank you for coming on, and something that hopefully you guys will be interested in. If you're listening to the podcast rather than the live stream, you can watch the live stream or on YouTube, Cantina Cast. But anyway, you will find what this is, and I'll try to post a picture of it on social media as we get a little bit closer and do that. But anyway, just a small thank you for anybody that shows up on the show. I'll be happy to send one of those out to you if you're comfortable sharing a mailing address with me once we're done with the show.
Hey, can you go ahead and send one to me too?
I'm going to go with negatory. Yeah.
It's not in the budget yet. Not in the budget. I think I might have found it. Let's see if this is it or not. I know this is bad. Oh yeah, it is. So this is legit. Thanks to Star Wars Coffee. I don't know who these guys are.
Yeah, Star Wars Coffee is the one that has the kind of combo one. Yep.
All right.
I guess I could have just told you that.
Oh, well, thanks so much. I
thought you had all this.
What incredible smell you've discovered. Let me see if I can share. This is, again, we'll cut all this out. Okay. Nope.
I'm going to leave it all in. Yep.
It's a rough comeback. Can you guys see my screen here?
You haven't shared it yet, but yes, I can see it in the background.
Shared. Oh, here we go. How about that? Can you see that?
Huzzah! We have made it.
Yeah. Cut all this out, man. This is not like show.
This is good radio, man. This is fantastic radio.
Fantastic radio.
This is what you get if you're on the live stream. You get the raw and unedited.
Okay, so there's that. I'm going to click on. Okay, here we go.
Man, I've submitted so many disputes this week.
All right, this is already missing some stuff. Okay, let's just start. Let's just talk about it. So it starts off with the Mandalorian flute, which everybody gets all kind of crazy wacko about. Hey, look at that, Vader girl's here. I'm so excited.
Hey, Karen.
So was Risk. Sorry, hey Risk. Not that you're not exciting. I haven't seen her in a while. Long time. Okay, so first so it starts off with Mando getting read the riot act, right, for lack of a better term, because he took his helmet off. We knew this was coming. And it's we get that kind of voiceover saying you've removed your helmet. We obviously know that's the armorer that's speaking. And while that's said, he's kind of walking on this rocky planet. Now, I think this planet shows up a few times in the trailer. At least that's the way I'm kind of seeing it. Grainy, but also I'm kind of picturing those two in there. So I just before we get there, any ideas where this planet could be? Because I mean, at some point, I would imagine we're going to Mandalore. It feels like Mandalore is going to be saved, although I think they show it at the very, very end, at least a picture, high-level shot of it. But this could be a couple of other places. I mean, it could be Concordia, which is one of the moons. And then it's the what's the other moon too that showed up in is it Kalevala? I think it's Kalevala.
Kalevala. It's been actually pronounced two different ways: Kelvala.
Oh, okay.
And then Kalevala, I think.
All right. I think I'm going with the Clone Wars way. I think that's the only time
I think it was said both ways in the Clone Wars, actually.
Oh, good Lord. Okay. Either way, those are two moons, if I'm not mistaken, or one's a moon, one's a planet. I forget now. Either way.
They're all in the same system.
But they're all in the same Mandalore system, right?
Right.
The importance, though, of the Kalevala, if you want to go with that pronunciation, the importance of that one is that's where Bo-Katan's family is from, right? And I think, and we'll talk about it a little bit later. But anyways, what are your thoughts? Any ideas of where this little rocky mountain is? Let me see. I'll play the trailer and see if it shows up here on this here.
Yeah, so we know they're looking for the pool, right? So they're looking for the waters that will rejuvenate him, and they will cleanse him and purify his spirit so that he can be redeemed. And so it would make a lot of sense if this was him being underground and looking for these supposed pools and waters, this underground type of spring, if you will.
Yeah.
And so it would make a lot of sense. And we get so many pictures of this underground that it's hard not to think that that's what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
That there's something down there why else would you be underground?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we get some of those shots, and the leak has me going a lot of different directions, but more as we continue to step through this. We come back to kind of the voiceover saying from the armorer saying, what's worse, you did this on your own free will, which is like incriminating, right? If for him, because not only, again, did he remove it, but somehow they find out that he took it off. And
Grogu just rubs it in.
Yep. Well, and then Grogu says, yep, that's exactly right, Dad, you did that.
Hey, those are the first words.
Exactly. No, he said hello in season 2.
Oh, okay.
Towards the very end, he said that. Anyways, but the question I have for you is, how does she find out? Do you think is it him confessing? Is it Grogu ratting him out prior to that? Did somebody else tell? How would she have known? Right? Maybe Bo-Katan? I mean, there weren't that many people that were around, and so I think the guilt got to him.
I think it came out when he admitted it. I think he had told her that it was intentional or on purpose.
Was that what was that in?
I think that was when they were on Glavis, whenever he goes to the depths there. So that was in, what was it, chapter 4 of Book of Boba Fett?
No.
Return of the Mandalorian.
Okay.
It may have been in that dialogue. So if she had found out, that would be a one place. Otherwise, with Grogu, I mean, she could probably put 2 and 2 together, though, as well.
Sure. Yeah.
And say that it was something like this. But also, he's been getting cozy with all of these other people. And I think the part that I'm curious about is, how much does she know about his affiliation with Bo-Katan and the other sect of the non-Watch sect of Mandalore, or of these, basically the heretics from their perspective. So I'd love to know how intertwined she believes they are, or how much she actually knows, or how much he's admitted to her.
Yeah. And she says you're no longer a Mandalorian, which...
Yeah, she told us before,
She told us that, right. Yeah, but again, more evidence that these guys really are kind of a sect, a cult. They're so fanatical about black and white, and there's no gray, and there's, rules are there for a reason, can't be broken. In the image that we're showing right now, you can see...
But again, then there's Rocky Cave. Yeah, this is that Rocky Cave we saw right before.
Mm-hmm. Looks like she's relocated inside of a cave of some sort. You can see her furnace right here, and later on, she's going to dip that little ladle in there to make we'll get to that here.
She's just making a ladle, man. Don't overthink it.
Wouldn't that be something? A Beskar ladle, as you might need as a cook.
Hey, only the finest soup.
Yeah. It was on Glavis, yeah. So let's see here. Let me see. I think we're caught up now. That first part was cut out, but I think we might be good. Yeah, so we get a ship. I know, guys, this is super grainy if you're watching the live feed, but you can see a ship coming in there. Now, you've had a chance to kind of spend some time with the shot a little bit more than I have. What did you
let's come with? Let's come back to this, because at the very end of the trailer, if you freeze this frame, I just don't think we're going to be able to get enough picture for the people on the live stream to see this part. Yeah. But when the ship tilts just a little bit, you get just the inkling of a profile. And when we get to the very end of the trailer, if you look at that and then you go back to this moment, I think they look like the same ship. Okay. And they look like the same environment. Again, so remember this cloudy, kind of murky atmosphere as it's coming down and into it. Remember that when we get to the end of the trailer and we get this big reveal.
And okay. Well, no, I'm with you. So from here, there we go. So this is the next shot. It looks like Mando. I'm assuming this is him underground in looking for the stream, trying to, that whole path of redemption here.
I think this is on Mandalore, is my guess.
Yeah, exactly. It's not. He's already landed. He's down below. What's caught my eye is I started from the flashlight because he got a chance. It's always kind of cool that he's using that.
Grogu's got a flashlight.
Yeah, yeah. He's got one like mounted on the front of his little
Hmm.
crib there, his floating crib, which I thought was interesting too. That he's back in this like floating crib kind
Yeah,
of thing.
what do they call it? A prim or a pram?
Oh, does it have a name?
Yeah, I think it's a pram.
Oh, okay. Prim and proper, pram and proper.
There you go.
So, okay, so that's them. Here's the ladle piece. And then right around this time, we're getting the words of redemption is no longer possible since the destruction of our homeworld. Painting this grim picture for him saying, look, really cool. Sorry that you broke the rules. And yeah, there's a chance you could be redeemed, but our planet's no longer around as it was before. So good luck.
All right, it continues to speak to that fanaticism. I think is how you had phrased it to me. That, this cult-like atmosphere that they continue that they're still very much ingrained in whatever it is. This belief of what it actually means to be Mandalorian. And I got to be honest, I kind of like that to an extent, right? I love the adherence to a culture and to a historical type of set of values. And I get that they're maybe on this extreme side and maybe not the quote unquote good guys in this case, but I kind of like that historical aspect of it just because the Mandalorian culture is so quirky and so interesting. And so it's kind of fun to continue to dig through the layers of, and it's still somewhat mysterious to us as it comes to canon these days.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of like that we still get that as compared with Bo-Katan's side of things, which definitely has a lot of history as well, but it's a different type of history.
Yeah. No, I do appreciate the two different views, and I'm sure we're going to get more than that too. My guess is we get into, and we speculated this back in season 1, that as we start getting into Mandalore, there are probably different types of other sects and different ways. I mean, they've all been splintered, and we got kind of a little flavor for that in the Clone Wars, right? I mean, they're all these different houses, so they're kind of doing their own things and setting up their own laws and rules, and so it's going to take somebody like the Mandalore, or a second coming, third coming of the Mandalore, to bring everybody back together and get unified again. So
yeah, and this trailer brings up a lot of questions about who are we seeing in these shots too.
Mm-hmm. Quickly to the chat, Eugene Bird just chimed in and said, I always imagine the armor as ugly, but if casual viewers get to see Emily Swallow underneath, that would be an attention grabber.
She does make your heart thump a little bit harder.
It's her accent, I think, more than anything. Hey, so this ladle is I think it's being dipped in Beskar, right? I don't think that's not disputable. But a little bit later, we're going to talk about what this thing is made, and I can't remember who. I think on the show we talked about whether or not this was going to happen, but it looks like it is going to happen, and that specifically is more armor for Grogu. So, which I can't wait. I cannot wait for that. That's going to be so cute. And think about all the merchandise they're going to be able to sell with him wearing a helmet now.
Merchandise.
Where the real money's made. We've got a quick shot of the Mandalorian in his. They still don't have a name. I'm still calling it the Razor Wing. I think we kind of christened that last year when it was introduced. At least I did. I don't know if you're on board with it or not. You probably think it's dumb, right?
You know what? It's better than anything else we've got.
Okay, good. So it's growing on you. Okay, so the Razor Wing is heading into hyperspace. Nothing exciting there. This looks to be on the next.
This is pretty cool. Yeah, this hall.
I think this is the remnants of the Kryze family.
I think so. I think you're absolutely right.
And this could be, Kalevala, or however you pronounce it. Because this is where she would have been, right? I mean, this is what they still own. I mean, it's kind of worthless now. I mean, this is, again, probably the house, not necessarily the one that's on Mandalore, of course, right? That's not we've seen that one in Clone Wars and Rebels. But if this is their actual house back on their home planet.
Yeah, this is like the homestead in the country.
Yeah, exactly. It's the home away from home. But she's no, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, no, go ahead. Oh, here.
Yes.
I had something for you. So, what was the fabric to her left that's under her helmet? Because I had a thought. What if this is some remnant or something from Satine? And she actually mentions Satine somewhere in the speech, about her sister. At least mentions her sister. How cool would that be?
That would be awesome. I'd love to hear that. So, I'd be down with it. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm trying to jump around. I don't mean to jump around. So, I don't know. Maybe it's some kind of family heirloom, right? Something that was made. Maybe it does belong to Satine. Could belong to somebody else that's been handed down. Maybe that's all that she has left of her family. But her body posture is very interesting here. She looks very dejected. She looks like she's frustrated.
Very defeated. Yeah.
very defeated. Yep, I can definitely sense that. And I guess I had this a little bit later, but I want to talk about it now because it makes sense. But I don't know, how do you feel about like this trailer almost portrays her as I'm going to call it a soft antagonist because I don't think they're going to go down a route of making Bo-Katan the antagonist of the show, right? I don't think
Right.
she's going to be the bad guy, if you will, or the bad girl, if you will. But I can see where, because of her family and the disagreements and the fact that she didn't get the sword in the right way, and with the dark saber and all that, I can see where she is resentful of maybe the Mando, and I can see where she potentially could be a thorn in his side or making things difficult for him. But she does come across in this trailer as an antagonist in some way.
Yeah, a little
But they could
bit.
be playing that up a little bit too much. What do you think there?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of the footage in here almost speaks to the contrary. The more you watch it and get familiar with it, but I'm with you. I don't
Hmm.
think they will do. She won't be a bad guy. She won't be the true antagonist, but I think she will definitely present a lot of tension in the episode for Din Djarin. And again, I think that resentment and that feeling of, oh man, just what she knows what she needs to do to start to make progress. And now, and you can kind of see it in this posture here
Yeah.
that she's like, what do I got to do? Because I mean, she knows that he's a good person,
Right.
and she needs someone like him to help restore Mandalore, but he's also in her way. And so I think it's a great balance there of she can't be on the wrong side of him, but she'll be that really good tension where it always feels like maybe she's just on the cusp of turning her back on him, or truly turning coat on him as well. So I think it's just going to create a really nice tension between them.
Yeah. No, yeah. I wouldn't mind that. What I don't want them to do is to kind of go down this path of making her a bad person, especially after everything this woman's been through, everything the family's been through. It just doesn't make sense. But I can see where she would be frustrated, and yes, she might be reluctant to always help him out. Maybe kind of slightly wishing things don't go well for him so that she can take the dark
Right.
saber at times, right? I mean, I can see that. I think it all makes sense here.
Right.
Okay, let's keep going here. There's a quick couple of shots, and I think they jump here. They did. They jumped a little bit. There's some voiceovers. First off, let's go back. So there's some voiceovers that are happening here with Bo-Katan, and she's saying, your cult gave up on Mandalore long ago, and she says, go be with them. So she's almost kind of saying, like, get out of here. Like, you're part of that crazy cult. You're part of the Watch. You have the sword. Go figure it out on your own. I'm not going to help you. But like you said earlier, to the contrary, I think later on, it does look like there are shots where she is helping him. Like she's down underneath Mandalore with him. Could be to help him out sincerely, which I hope is the case, or it could be selfishly.
A lot of scenes with her and Grogu.
Yeah, I saw that. And there's a couple of lines. There's at least one line as
Yeah.
well, a little bit later. Okay, we get a quick shot of another cave. There looks like to be some water, some fire, more cave stuff. I'm assuming all of this is underground in Mandalore.
Looks like it.
This trailer doesn't. I think this trailer cuts over a few things. Let me see here. It does. It jumps to that. It jumps to the fighting. So this is not the other one. But on the longer one, we get the quick shot of the Kowakian monkey lizards. So
Yes.
hanging out in the trees. And I got a question for you. This is a very serious question, but what do you call a group of monkey lizards?
Oh
First-
boy, I don't know.
So I got a
Do
couple
you-
options. I got a bunch,
Okay. Bunch.
flock.
Okay.
a family, a gaggle of
What about a
Kowakian
cackle?
monkey.
How about a
Cackle?
cackle? Yeah,
Of
a cackle
Kowakian-
of them.
All right. And there's a shot here where you see Grogu and he's kind of looking up at the tree and you can see them all there. There's like 4 or 5 of them sitting in the tree. And then we cut over and it looks like Navarro to me because it kind of pulls back. And later on, and like actually right after this, we get Grief Karga speaking, saying, I heard you were back, but I didn't believe it. And he
Right.
walks up. I want to talk about his look. I want to see, well, let's see if I don't think it has it in this video. It might a little bit later. Because again, this was kind of cut a couple different ways, and no, I don't see him in there. But he is wearing like this red. I mean, what was he? He was kind of like the magistrate or something. What was his official title? Do you remember in season 2?
I believe magistrate was correct.
Okay, so I was just wondering, like, he looks more regal than he did in that episode or in those episodes.
Oh yeah, I
Um,
mean, all of Navarro is quite
Booming.
different.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
looks like it's prospering. Like there's trees everywhere. And later on, we get to see the shots in the streets, and Mando standing there under a statue of what looks to be IG-11. We'll hopefully have a picture of that here in just a little bit. But I just wondered, like, is he still at that level? Or I thought this would be interesting. What if he like has moved on to be like a senator of some sort, right? The senator from Navarro or from that particular region of space.
Check the private chat. I sent you the link of the one you're trying to find, the video you're trying to find.
Oh, did you find it? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, sorry, Star Wars Coffee, but we are moving on to.
Yeah, the Spartan 117.
Oh, yeah, this is it.
Yeah, this is the one you're looking for.
All right, let's go back over here. Oh, yeah, we missed this shot of Bo-Katan, too. Look.
That's when the voiceover. That's when the voiceover was going on. So I think we covered it.
Let me just share my new screen here. Sorry, man, you're gonna have a hell of a time editing this tonight.
Just be more fun.
Challenge accepted.
Right.
All right. Let me add it to the stream, and boom, there we go. Okay, and now let me do this or this, that. There we go. Can you guys see that now?
Yep. Sure.
Perfect. Okay. And away we go. So here's them talking, much clearer. There's Bo-Katan. This is where she tells him to hit the road, Jack. Sorry, I'm not helping you, kind of thing.
Bugger off.
Yeah, she could be reluctant. By the way, in this trailer, the way that was filmed, you see this lady over here or I'm assuming it's a lady. I don't know. I kept thinking that's Peli Motto, like creeping in on every scene here because of her hair.
You might not be wrong.
Probably am. And look at me trying to use a Microsoft mouse. Okay, so here's that cave that we mentioned. There's some water. Looks like there's some fire going on. Oh, that's a light. That's what it was.
Yeah.
It's just a flashlight. Here's the Kowakian monkey lizards. All, I don't know, 2, 4, 5 of these guys.
Oh, cackle of them?
Cackle. Grogu's fascinated. There's the picture. So let's talk about that, because this looks like a statue for IG-11.
Yeah, it really does, doesn't it? Yeah.
So it looks like they've erected this statue just to commemorate his bravery, or the fact that he saved Grief Karga of all people, I guess. But honestly, think about it. They ran the Empire right out after that. So if it was not for his sacrifices, bravery, Navarro probably wouldn't be as prosperous as it looks. And if you can see in the background here, looks completely different than what we saw in season 1. Look at me, you got these trees growing back here.
All right, and we know this is Navarro because later in this trailer, you actually see the approach, and you can see the archway that we've seen in previous seasons, and it is very pristine and very cleaned up. So this is definitely Navarro,
which is awesome. It's cool to see that progression over the last couple of seasons here. People are laughing. I wonder if it's because they think it's Peli Motto. But yeah, just imagine that's Peli Motto there sitting next to you watching the trailer. Okay, let's go to the next scene. Let me click play here. There he is. See what I mean? Like this seems more like a senator garb. I don't know why I'm saying that.
He's channeling his inner Lando Calrissian.
He really is. And he's got a protocol droid now that looks like to be following him around. You see that on the right-hand side there? Or in the back there? And then, there's just also a band. Did you see the band playing?
Of all the things that are, no. Maybe he just has one that follows him around everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Playing his theme music as he enters and leaves into a
Where's my theme music?
But this is him, and he does the, I don't know if they did that on purpose. You know the meme of him and Arnold Schwarzenegger with the two hands together like this? You ever seen that meme?
From Predator?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same handshake they do. Right there, that. It's the same thing they do in the Predator, and then they go up and all that. Anyways, but yeah, the other thing I was going to comment on, and I don't know if they show it here or a little bit later. I'm going fast forward here. No, I think we already missed it. His beard has been like bleached blonde now. I don't know if you've noticed that, but it's like his beard and his mustache are completely like blonde.
I thought they were white.
Maybe it's white. I don't know. This is
probably that crazy Windows coloring on your screen that you're not used to.
It probably is. I'm not used to this. Oh, hey, look at that. I just noticed that too. IG-11's foot on that statue.
Yep.
It's stepping on a stormtrooper helmet.
Yeah, it's his captain's pose.
Yeah.
It's heroic.
There's a couple of them. There's another one down here. You can see it here. Well, barely, but. Okay. Well, nonetheless, it looks like he is partnering up again with him. And we get a couple of quick shots. I don't know who these people are. There looks to be a guy later on. Let me see if I can pause it here. This guy.
Yeah, I can't tell what he's holding either.
I can't either. But later on, I think they show him, and he's kind of looking through what looks like a microscope. So I'm wondering if he's some kind of a scientist. Maybe it looks like he's got a rebel insignia, a rank insignia on his shoulder, or a resistance, I guess at this point.
New Republic, yeah.
New Republic, yeah. Sorry, timeline. You could barely briefly see it there as he was turning around.
Never get Carson Teva.
Yeah, Teva. I don't know if they've ever said his full name, his last name, but the character that's played by Paul Sun-Hyung Lee, who would now this be his third season being in here, and this Rodian as well. So, but it's interesting that when he kind of comes into this picture, he kind of stands at attention, almost like he's, I don't know, either he's in trouble, or he's being reprimanded, or he's just a formal officer. But this Rodian shows up, and we see that Rodian again a little bit later as well. So I know there's a lot of Rodian fans out there. Now this is a different Rodian, so now we're back on Tatooine in this next shot, and it looks like this is Peli Motto. Well, it is Peli Motto. But there's this Rodian that's standing in the background. That Rodian looks to be blue. Again, could be the coloring. I don't know, but definitely got a different outfit. So I don't know who this one is.
Yeah, I thought the lapels almost looked similar to Grief Karga's, but definitely the bottom is a blue or a green type of material rather than what Grief was wearing.
Yeah, and at first on this shot here, I'm showing now that far shot. I thought that was at first Grief Karga, but no, that is definitely the Rodian there.
Yeah, and I can't tell what that little ship or speeder is that she's looking at.
It almost looks like a kind of a land speeder of sorts, or
right,
air car of some sort. Any reason why? Like, imagine this is like an emissary or somebody from Navarro, and I just don't understand how Peli Motto gets pulled into this, because it means we're going back to Tatooine, which I just need to accept it.
Yeah, it's weird that it's someone like that rather than Mando himself, because that seems to be the most natural one to go back to Tatooine, would be Mando for repairs or for, I don't know, camaraderie.
Well, I'm just curious as to how is Peli Motto pulled into this, and I'm not against her. I know I take some cheap shots at her from time to time, but I just don't understand how she gets pulled back in, or why she's important to what's happening on Mandalore. You know, unless there's some other, unless that's, maybe half of the season and this we're seeing the very beginning, or there's some parallel thread that's going to kind of come together at the very end. I'm not sure how she fits into this.
Yeah, I mean, she is a good mechanic, and they need allies. So, I mean, there are ways you could get there, but I'm with you. It seems to be a stretch, especially if it's not one of the main characters going to ask her for something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like someone else is hunting for information maybe and using her to get it.
Okay. Well, she's back. And okay, here was another shot of just quick.
Maybe we need another biology class on Jawas.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure there's going to be some
You're
comments
welcome
in there. Yeah, thank you. Hey, look at this.
Yeah, this is a really interesting droid.
It's Dr. Pershing, right? From season 1, season 2. I had hoped, I think back in season 1 that, or maybe it was season 2, I had hoped that he would turn, like become, because in season 1 he had like empathy for the child, right? He wasn't trying to kill it, and it sounded like, he was trying to tell Mando, look, I'm the one that helped it, I saved him, that kind of thing. And at that point, I thought, oh, well, he's a good person, and he's just a scientist, and he's kind of being forced to do what he needs to do. In season 2, of course, he's captured, and we know he's around there at the very beginning. But I almost wonder, like, because later on, there's a shot of him. It looks to be like he's being escorted by a prisoner, or I'm sorry, a guard, meaning that he could be a prisoner somewhere. Maybe he's on kind of work release program with the Resistance or New Republic at this point. But nonetheless, I guess the more interesting thing about it, the fact that he's back here, is this droid that he's talking to, because they're sitting like across from each other, and it almost like his posture looks like he's trying to be polite. And this droid, I've never seen this kind of droid before. But any crazy crack theories as to what's going on in this scene?
Well, and maybe let's go back and see, where was the last time we saw Pershing? So last time we saw Pershing, I believe, was in Chapter 16, The Siege, for Mandalorian, the one with Luke Skywalker.
Mm-hmm.
And he was basically left back on the ship, I believe, right?
Yes.
So, and I think that was the last time we saw him. They didn't really follow up with him. So presumably he went into New Republic custody.
Right.
And so this could be, maybe not an interrogation, but this could be like an interview type of thing where they're continuing trying to get information out of him. Mm-hmm. That seems to support what we see in a scene here in just a moment as well. Because when you look at the outfits of some of the people around, the blue costume with the helmet, very similar to what Matt Lanter's character was wearing in the I forgot what the episode was, but the one where they stormed the Imperial prison ship.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely seems like he's on a New Republic vessel or facility.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing to continue to interview and get information. So maybe not interrogate, maybe not under arrest, but definitely in their custody and maybe helping them. But I
maybe it's like a parole droid that he's got to report to.
Parole droid. It might be.
Yeah, it's an interesting design. There's a lot of quick shots here, so we'll just kind of briefly touch on them. I mean, these Mandos show up a few times in this trailer. It looks like they're saluting of some kind of a salute. Could be Mando himself. There's some evidence I think that backs up maybe a little bit later.
Well, but they're all kind of that older. They're all a similar color scheme though, so it could very much be maybe like the Watch or something.
Sam asked, "Are there many interrogation rooms that have potted plants?"
It's supposed to help you feel comfortable and at home, so you open up more.
Exactly. Right. There's nothing going on here. We're all friends. We're part of the New Republic. We have plants. The Imperial.
That's right. We are all the New Republic.
Don't have it. They have sterile rooms with scary probe droids and
Force users that yell at you.
Yeah. Can I get you some coffee? Or calf, sorry. Yeah. But hey, so this scene is interesting because it shows what it is grief cargo. I'm almost positive of that. Because they cut to him, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, like there it is. See, look, there's that. I
think it's just
yellow
white
to me. You think it's white? Yeah, the way he's grown it out, like he looks, well put together.
I think it's just the color of his skin under the beard. It might make it look a little bit different color.
Assuming these are the same shots linked together, it definitely looks like he's about to either show some intimidation with these thugs that have approached him in the streets here of his, he's trying to keep his town clean and all that thing. But, I love the fact that we're going back to that more gunslinger kind of thing where he's pulling back his cloak and, displaying his pistol or blaster, if you will.
Right. I'm the marshal of these parts.
That droid's there again. No, as it is Pelimato here on the right-hand side. And then here's Grogu, another quick shot. This is back with him talking to Bo-Katan. I'm trying to see. I think this is where he says, "I'm going to Mandalore so I may be forgiven for my transgressions."
Yes.
We knew that was coming as part of season 2. Okay, and then he's leaving some planet, which could be Concordia or could be some other Mandalorian planet.
A very blue and green planet, though, very Earth-like.
Are these the same Mandos from earlier that we see saluting? Because, like you said, they have a more basic look. I'm gonna call it a more Mandalorian or Mando season 1 look. Remember when he first shows up and he's kind of piecemealed and some Beskar, mostly not Beskar, but it does look like this ragtag kind of like we're Mando. We look like Mandos, but we just don't have the Beskar because it's been taken from us.
Well, and that's a good question because the shot we saw just a minute ago, they look at least similar color palette, but we see later on when Mando comes out between a few of them, they are a cornucopia of colors. I mean, they are just all over the place. These almost look more consistent with what has yet to come in this trailer than maybe what those have, because those were very much, like you said, very season 1, kind of the dark red, brown, darker green. I mean,
more
very
leather than metal.
Yeah, right. And more earthier tones, right, than any kind of color palette, if you will, just a really muted color palette. So this one seems a little more, just a little more vibrant and a little more just variety.
And they look to be, it looks like they're kind of, strategically moving through the street, looking for something of some sort. They've got their weapons drawn.
Is that smoke maybe too as well?
Could be smoke. They're on some kind of cobblestone street. Could be Navarro. And it's always tough with the Mandalorians because they're always fighting. So, I mean, these guys could be just trying to settle, a lover's dispute of some sort. Okay, so let's click a little bit further here. And it was another quick shot of them kind of stepping through the streets. Here's where I'm like, okay, so this seems to be Bo-Katan. Well, it is. But this is Bo-Katan, which seems to be her in what I'm going to assume, again, is underground Mandalore proper, maybe part of helping Mando through the trials or whatever he needs to do.
Well, and if we remember back, sorry to interrupt, she's the one that says, don't believe everything you've heard about Mandalore.
Yeah.
So it would make sense that Bo-Katan knows some things and that she would be able to at least guide a little bit of the way and take him and Grogu down into the underground to at least see what's down there. And now she's got another person that can help her, do some of that stuff. But she can show Mando whatever it is that he thinks he's finding, or maybe she could be like, no, dude, that's not down here.
Right.
But she clearly knows there's more to Mandalore than what you see on the ruins you see on the surface, though. So I'm with you. I think this is Mandalore. I think she's giving him the grand tour of the junk pile.
And she could be doing it for reasons of, hey, I'm trying to get this guy out of this crazy sect and get him more onto, where we are, more reality based rather than, doctrine and all that.
And if you want to go to the antagonist side of things, is this a place where she could potentially ambush him in a fight for the Darksaber? I don't believe that's going to be the case, but I think you could probably use some of those scenes as an argument, especially when it seems like she's with Grogu all by herself as we go through this trailer.
The way I see that is selfishly, maybe right or wrong. Again, I don't think this is the case, but if I had to make an argument, maybe it's as simple as, look, he has a Darksaber. He's going to do something very dangerous. And should something happen to him, I may just be around to pick that lightsaber up and
she'll be the one to stab him in the back so that she won it in combat.
I guess. Well, that's very cynical. Sure.
Well, she can't pick it up if he's dead. That's not winning it in combat.
She has no one's going to prove it. It's just them two. So
it's a matter of honor now, right?
Oh, well,
because otherwise she was just taking it before.
It's true. Here's that shot you were talking about. This is the uniform that Matt Latner, of all people, was wearing in that one scene. Was it the Breakout? I think was the name of it.
Yeah, I think so.
And this definitely looks like this is the prison garb, or for the prison guard garb for the New Republic.
But it seems like Pershing makes a side glance and looks away, and this other guy seems to recognize something though.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very peculiar kind of exchange.
There's another one right here. Another guard in the back there. You can see that one.
Yeah.
There's Pelimato again. I'm keep doing that joke. Okay, so here's Mando coming forward. This looks like, the way he's walking looks like they're about to go into battle of some sort.
Right.
And again, we get these kind of, I got my Mandalorian armor on Wish kind of thing. It's all kind of different colors, and
I like how one of the antennas is bent, just like the toys.
I didn't even notice that. They're dress for success, right? You gotta look the part to be the part. So
hey, sometimes you gotta fake it till you make it.
Exactly. That's exactly
what they're doing.
These aren't really cloaks; they're curtains that they've pulled down and thrown around their shoulders, so they look like cloaks of some sort.
Right,
but then here comes Mando. I mean, look at him; he looks all.
Yeah, he's Jack. He looks like he's a sharp dressed man. But yeah, we got a mix of both male and female here, so a variety of folks showing up.
And the way they cut this, it almost looks like they're kind of like, about to evade Bo-Katan's, because you can see it right here, right? They're walking up, they're all staring at something, and they cut over her looking out at a window, almost like she's looking out at them. I don't think these two scenes are together, but,
Well, and what's weird is even this right here, she's out looking out this window, and then it goes to another camera angle of that window, and it looks like it's raining or something.
No, let me see that. Here's this shot. Yeah, right there. Yep.
Yeah,
right.
See, I don't understand that. It's a really interesting cut.
Maybe it's just like Houston, where it's really, really humid.
Yeah, true. It's just the condensation on the inside of the window.
It's all that moisture coming off the Gulf of Mexico.
Right. The seals have been broken.
Yeah. But yeah, it does look like she's standing behind a window that looks to be rain. Again, I don't know if those shots are connected. I mean, she's definitely looking out the window and she looks concerned. The way she's walking towards the window. Let me just go back here. I mean,
and again, maybe this is when that plane is on an approach, or the aircraft is on an approach. So maybe this is before Mando gets there and she sees him approaching. So it could be, again, out of order and really kind of inconsequential as well. But she definitely seems like it's an unexpected visitor regardless.
Eugene said, some say Moff Gideon's lieutenant is in disguise with Pershing breaking him out. Interesting. It could be a breakout. Okay, let's see. Next shot here is it's just mom or dad and son having some fun time together.
That's right, father-son time.
Dog fighting in space, but whatever. There's some cool shots here. It definitely looks like there's
What kind of ships are these?
I have no idea. Like they don't even look. They look nothing like what we've seen before.
It looks like BattleTech or something like that.
Oh, yeah, right. Because they almost look like little, bugs or hornets of some sort. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, they got multiple wings.
Yeah, it's an interesting design.
There's a whole swarm of them though.
So
could this be other sects of Mandalorians? Or because I'm trying to think, who else might this be that would be chasing him? Or is there another party at play that is maybe interested in Mandalore, or maybe it's completely irrelevant to Mandalore too?
Maybe it's hard to say, because with the Mandalorian, if you think back to seasons 1 and season 2, we had, these little quick shots. Think about that one where he's kind of in a dogfight at the very beginning, right? And we don't even know who this person is. It's just someone that found his bounty, and it was almost like an establishing kind of a sequence to get him where he needed to be, and that was it.
Oh, yeah, and it had no meaning at all.
Yeah, exactly. And I know people were throwing shade at that and have been doing so throughout the series, but I guess what I'm saying is it wouldn't be uncommon for this episode or this series to show us a scene like this, a battle scene, and it's like, okay, cool. These are just a race you've never seen, of ships you've never seen, but it looks really cool. They're in an asteroid field. We get some throwback memories to The Empire Strikes Back or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's just a kind of a throwaway thing to set something up. It could,
but there's a lot of them though.
Well, and it's a longer scene too, because this isn't the only one. I mean, we get other shots here a little bit later, but we'll come back to that here because we are going to get more of that. There's a quick picture of right there of Grief Karga turning around. He looks pretty upset. He's got Mando standing behind him there. Don't know what's going on there. There's the Razor Wing shooting off into hyperspace. We get Bo-Katan flying.
Yeah. Oh, did you see who was behind her though? It's R5.
Oh, yeah, who was it?
Yeah, R5D4 is off on her left shoulder.
That's why. Well, he shows up later too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was him. I just thought it was some kind of like a beer vat of some sort.
It's her onboard brewing.
Yeah. She's a home brewer. What can she say? Yeah, so it's cool. We'll get to see her using her ship, which I've already forgotten the name. Here's another shot of what looks to be, again, down below, underground. And she shoots what would be the ceiling of this cave, which then has somebody fall through. But I could not see if that was, the other person would be Mando.
Yeah, the only thing I could tell was it was humanoid. That was about the only thing I was able to discern from it.
Yeah, it's so grainy. You can't really tell who's falling. It looks like a creature of some sort.
It almost looks more like a creature because they're not seeing any armor, and the dimensions like the forearms do seem a little bit weird, but maybe it's just what the character is wearing. But yeah, it looks like an animal. So again, maybe it's just the creatures under the surface that are surviving in the only way they can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't put too much weight into anything there.
But what's clear is we're not seeing anything Imperial or anything like that in this trailer. So we have definitely,
that's a good point, because
we've moved on beyond that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we talked about how this place probably is a barren wasteland because of the Empire, right? If there was any one threat to them, it was probably the Mandalorians at that point. So, they probably charred this place to nothing.
Right. And it kind of begs the question, is Moff Gideon have any part in this season?
I would imagine so. Like, he seems to be kind of like the devil of the series so far. So,
right.
The Emperor Palpatine, if you will. But I would expect and suspect that he would show up in some way or fashion form. Who knows? There could be a whole. He's in, as far as we know, he's in prison, right? Or he's been taken captive.
Right.
But that doesn't mean he's still not calling shots and pulling strings from the inside or whatever, or people trying to bail him out. Who knows? Let's see here. This is where Bo-Katan says, what is it? Something about your dad's not the only one.
Yeah, your dad's not the only man. Oh, do you think your dad was the only Mandalorian? Yeah, again, a peculiar comment. Yeah.
I don't understand that one. Like, no, he wouldn't think that. Like, he's already seen other Mandalorians, right?
Right.
Wait.
Several times.
Yeah. Well,
pretty sure he has.
Hold on.
He was in there. Well, he was in there with Bo-Katan and the crew when Luke Skywalker came and rescued him.
Yeah. Yep. Well, that's true. He was there. I was trying to think, like, in earlier on, though, he was being babysat by the frog people when all that was going on. So he technically didn't see them, but yes, to your point, yeah, he saw them a little bit later.
And did he ever? He never. He didn't actually see Boba Fett though either. I think he definitely did not there. But yeah, I know he saw Bo-Katan though.
Sure. And that's what makes this whole comment very interesting. It's like, why would she say that? Do you think your dad was the only? Unless it's kind of like she does something, like uses the same weapons or whatever, and he's like, whoa, look, she can do exactly what dad does, right? Or dad has done. And so it's maybe a funny comment of like, what, you think your dad was the only one that had this cool stuff or could do these cool things? How about that?
It's very interesting.
So no, you don't like that one. Okay.
Well, I don't know how to make sense of it because I'm like, is she having a conversation with him? Is he talking to her? I mean, why would I just can't? The question you asked was perfectly appropriate. Why would she ask him that?
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Grogu's like, why are you asking me, woman?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm just a baby.
I'm just cute. This is cool.
A good old Paz with his
Paz Vizsla.
Yeah, with his heavy artillery rifle
blaster now.
Yeah, he's upgraded.
He's got 3. I guess 2 wasn't enough. But yeah, he's definitely shooting, and this, of course, played by Jon Favreau, which
Well, so what I learned is that he's actually not in the costume.
Oh, I've seen that too. Like it's his voice only, right?
Yeah, voice only. But again, I think more interesting are everyone that's around him. Mm-hmm. Like there's children with helmets on, and all of it looks like this is the same. There seems to be a similar color palette going on here. Very muted, very earthy tones. They're on again, for those on watching the live stream, this kind of sandy, rocky outcropping where they've got a bit of a hovel maybe behind them, and they're all scattering. But again, they're all in these very dark, muted reds, beige, and browns. And even their helmets don't seem to be super shiny or anything. And now, the younger you are, presumably, those wouldn't be brand new or anything like that. But again, so it seems like a village is under attack. But again, is this where the watch is actually at, and they're protecting their homestead, or are they coming to the rescue of Mandalorians that are scattered and a bit, just all over the place?
Mm-hmm.
Are they trying to consolidate by doing some of the stuff, and they're just meeting resistance along the way?
I was kind of reading this as, sorry, my brother chimed in with Auto Chef, which is an inside joke to the 87 Star Wars role-playing game. This, to me, feels like he is defending them, like they are under attack, and they're kind of running for cover.
Right.
If, earlier we had the armorer, she seemed to be in some kind of a cave. So I'm assuming, these guys seem very nomadic, right? Kind of going back to the roots of the Mandalorians where they would travel all over the place and never really had a home. And then maybe that's what these guys are. Maybe the watch is established that way as far as canon goes. If that's the case, then yes, we've seen them in a couple different places now. Maybe this is their newest location and they're about to have to pick up and head out all over again because this is the way, right? But yeah, I imagine the armorer is inside that cave somewhere. I don't know. Did we talk? We didn't get a chance to talk about the armorer going to war. Like she pulls out her I think it was earlier on before we cut over to this new trailer. There was a scene in there where she pulls out her mallet. Are we coming up on that? No, it's coming up. Never mind.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Scratch it. Okay. We get a quick shot of Mando using his little cable thing there. Another one doing it. I don't know what's going on here.
Trying to yank something out of this guy.
Yeah. Mandos are flying out of the air. Look at them. Here they go. They're taking off. All kinds of craziness. But all still within that. So these all seem like the same shots. And that may actually not be Mando now that I say that.
Yeah, I don't think it was.
Yeah, he's got a green helmet. Or some green on his helmet. Yeah. Oh, so look at this shot. You tell me I'm crazy.
No, it looks like a Wookiee, man.
You sure?
It kind of looks like a Wookiee.
This shot. It looks like a Wookiee, doesn't it? Like he's taking off and he looks over to his right and he's like, hey, there's a Wookiee.
It's like he's flying by and go, Wookiee.
You're going to take a right at the first Wookiee.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, look at that.
Oh, here's the moment.
So this earlier, we talked about the little ladle going into the Beskar and something being made, right? And, he's no longer Mandalorian, so we wouldn't expect her to make anything for him. But Grogu's still a Mandalorian, right? So, yeah.
Well, it's a question, I think. If you are no longer Mandalorian and you have a foundling, does that continue on to the foundling, or does the foundling have to get readopted into the clan?
No,
No, I asked two things. I asked two questions. You can't say
Okay.
no.
Okay. What was your first question? Sorry.
All right, so I guess you're saying no, that just because Mando was thrown out, his foundling, his keep, is not necessarily guilty as well, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What if the helmet's not for him though? Maybe it's just for another kid. I'm just gonna bust your bubble every chance.
No, it would. I mean, no, you're not gonna.
Would his ears fit in that?
Yeah, you just pull them back, like pull them back like a ponytail or something.
Oh, he has got like one of those like little ski things that the people wear.
Or maybe it's got slots in the background we can't see it, so his ears just kind of poke out the back or something.
That's what I was hoping to see. I was hoping they cut holes in the side, just stick out, so when in the wind they'd still flap.
Either way, this is a teeny tiny helmet, so it seems like it would have to be Grogu's.
It's definitely a mini helmet.
If it is indeed for him, I can't wait to see him in it though. It's gonna be so cute. Here's that person again that could be lieutenant or somebody working from the inside.
No, hold on. Does that not look like Katie O'Brien?
Oh,
the comms officer from the bridge of Gideon's ship. Now, everybody on that bridge presumably was killed, but what if she wasn't? It kind of looks like her.
I can't. It kind of does. At the same time, again, we're dealing with some really terrible footage here, so it's hard to tell.
Maybe I'm just hoping it is. I have a secret crush on Katie O'Brien.
Oh,
Katie O'Brien.
I know you do. You mentioned it like twice last season. Here, see the guy in the back there? He looking through the microscope. I think that's that New Republic person that we were talking about. You see him? He ducks down quickly, and again, I'm sorry, you can't really tell when you watch it on your own. Right there. Yeah, I didn't catch it.
Yeah, got to get it before the person flashes in front of the screen.
I'm just gonna keep doing this. I give up. I'm over this. I think that's him. But earlier you said, what is it he's holding? Maybe it is some kind of I don't know, something that goes into what they would use for like microscopes. Either way, if that is the case, then I don't know. Are they trying to figure out? Are they taking Pershing's research and trying to figure out, like, okay, what is it they're trying to do? What is the Empire really trying to do with midichlorians? And I mean, I don't know. Maybe
it's possible.
Thanks, Luke.
More pew pew.
Yeah. Asteroid field.
Here, spinning's a good trick.
Yeah. Let's try spinning. That's a good trick. Let's see here. All right. Yeah, we get funny shots there with Grogu and that. Okay, here's a shot of the armor. It's almost like she's like handing the mallet to
Paz
Vizsla for some reason. Maybe it's just hold my beer kind of thing. I don't know. We'll see. But then, like the next scene, now it's not this one. Look, in the next scene, she's got a couple scenes here. She's gonna bop somebody on the head. I love this scene, which we've got the Mandalorians deploying out of the ships here, definitely going to war. We've seen this in Clone Wars, and
right, but they all look similarly fashioned, don't they?
More uniform.
Yeah, they actually look like a uniform. And do they have a? Is there a? Yeah, there's a watch emblem on the pauldron. Can you go back like a frame?
You're asking a lot, but
yeah, if you hit spacebar real fast, doesn't that look like something right there?
Yeah, it does look like the watch logo.
So maybe that's. I mean, but they look like they're wearing the same uniform.
Maybe.
I'm gonna go and say it is guaranteed. Okay. But yeah, the dropship idea is pretty cool though.
Well, they did it in not exactly the same way, but they did it in the last season of the Clone Wars.
Yeah, exactly.
We got to see them do that during that whole Siege of Mandalore. Okay, here we go back to. I don't know. We went back in time for some reason. Okay, here, next shot. So yeah, this is where she's walking in. Wow, here's the beginning again, folks. This is where the armorer is walking in, and she's got her little mallet there, and she like clubs his like Quarren like a baby seal right there. Boom. Sorry, I don't mean to be insensitive to the way baby seals are killed, but right there. But I'm thinking, like, why are the Quarrens in here? Why is Pelimato here? What's going on? Any ideas?
No, there's absolutely zero context. And again, what is the armorer doing in general? Like, we don't even really understand what drives her at this point, right?
Yeah.
So I'm really hoping that finally comes out. Like, what is it that they actually do, or that they want to do? And because there's got to be a motive behind all of this stuff. And so maybe she's getting an inkling that, there really is something going on. But again, this is a much brighter facility. This isn't, in the dark or in the dungeons or in the lower depths or
Mhm.
Yeah, not a cave. I mean, this is in a actual building, so she is actually surfaced, which I think might be the first time we've seen her surface actually on the surface.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, unless you count, the
Well,
confines
on
of
screen at
space.
least. Yeah.
But yeah. But man, she lays into that corn pretty
Yeah, he's
heavily.
not waking up anytime soon,
Nope.
if at
Yeah.
all.
Here's that shot you were talking about of the razor
Yeah,
wing coming in from
definitely
Navarro.
Navarro.
Yeah. Wow. Look at that. It just looks cool.
Yeah, I mean, all the trees in green. I mean, they've definitely planted some trees and done some miracle grow action out there.
I didn't know there was this much green in the entire galaxy.
Yeah, and look at all the ships. I mean, they've definitely turned this around into an actual port
Mm-hmm.
that has is bustling with trade and continue to, yeah, man, continue to make headway into all this. Hey, it's
Here's
Babu
the
Frick.
Babu Fricks. There's more of them right here.
Yeah, I forgot what they're called.
Yeah, I did too. But
They
that's
were
okay.
they were in Midnight Horizon.
But yeah. So they're working on a droid armor. I don't know.
Oh,
That's interesting.
yeah, the other ones look like they're working on a droid. It's tough to tell,
Yeah.
but they're in some sort of machine shop type of thing though, which makes
And
sense.
yeah, and of course, when this happens in the trailer, everybody starts screaming because we get these little guys. I mean, this guy threw his fist in the air, blocking the shot. Get that down, guy. And then look, here we get the fireworks. So we haven't had fireworks in Star Wars since Return of the Jedi. Oh no, we had it. Well, yeah, technically speaking, I guess the last time we no was what Episode 3.
It's been a while.
Well, we had them in Episode 3 at the very end, right when they're celebrating. No.
Oh well, episode
We had them
one,
in Episode 6 in the special edition. Remember, they added that all in there.
right? Well, they had him in the original
Oh,
too.
they had them in the original too, right? The X-wings were launching
Right.
allegedly. Nonetheless, fireworks are back in Star Wars. Super excited about that. This is where Bo-Katan is talking to Grogu again. Yet another ship of them together. Anything here?
No, no context whatsoever.
Yep. Oh,
Oh, and then we get Keanu Reeves.
yeah. What is going on?
Thank you, YouTube, for all the commercials.
Yeah. So no context as far as what they're doing. It looks like Mando is in some kind of a green cave. You gonna assume this is underground again?
It kind of seems like it.
Yeah.
But
It
again,
seems
it's
like it's all part of
green,
that
though.
same shot.
Yeah, now this is interesting though. You get a Star Destroyer.
And they hold on this shot for a very long time. Like to make sure everybody, I mean, I get why they're doing it because at first you're looking at it like, what am I looking at here? And you're like, holy crap. And the audience's reaction is pretty cool too. If you watch this, everybody gets pretty excited and they start cheering because they see an Imperial Star Destroyer. Now, the interesting thing is, number one, all the lights are on this thing, right? So it's operational. It doesn't look like
in
it's
some
gonna,
way.
well, I mean, there's lights. When we normally see Star Destroyers not in space, they're at some kind of a graveyard or a scrap yard, right? Like we saw in Bad Batch, or
Right.
as we saw, or if you like read the Empire's End stuff, the Battle of Jakku with Rey. But this one has power going to it, and they sit here and hold on it. But not only that, but then in the background, you've got what looks to be a flourishing, I don't know, city industrial area, like a shipyard almost of some sort.
Right. And this is what I'm wondering if, what if this is the Mandalorians, whoever, whichever, subset that might be, but they are actually taking Imperial remnant ships and trying to repair them to create a fleet and to create something to combat them. And so it would make sense that they are trying to refurbish anything that is semi-functional. But again, if you're in this industrial park type of area, then presumably you've got resources to do it. But then again, maybe this is an Imperial facility where they are doing something similar. Because this thing's a bit worse for wear. It's definitely,
Sure.
I mean, and the lights that are on it, a lot of them are kind of surface level, like workman lights, right? That you're going to get on there and weld and stuff like that.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's very intriguing that we've got a Star Destroyer like surface.
It was surprising. Yeah. So I was wrong. This is one piece of Imperial thing, but we didn't see any stormtroopers this time around.
Mm-hmm. I had thrown in the show notes that maybe it's Hondo.
Hondo.
He's upgraded his ship now. He's flying. But if you think about it, like There now that the Empire is gone, there's got to be a lot of these things laying around. What was the in canon? Who was it that had the one that they colored red? Do you remember that?
Is that Talon Card?
No,
Or
no, no.
no.
This is in canon. In the Aftermath series, I forget who it was.
Yeah, I can't.
But someone had one now that they commandeered and they painted it red, and it was a gambling casino. Do you remember that? And Lando was going. Okay, never mind. But I guess the point I wanted to make.
I'm looking it up. Don't worry.
Oh,
the Errant Venture.
Yes.
Booster Tarek.
Yes. So it's not uncommon, I guess, that we've had an example where these things are now out there post Empire, right? Or post Galactic Empire, and people are commandeering them and like remodeling them, like flipping them. I don't know what the term would be,
right.
But they're using them for other things because
Flip the Star Destroyer. It's a TV show.
It's on HGTV. Yeah, it's coming soon. Okay, enough of the silliness. Converted into a living space.
It's a container home.
Yeah, it's a container home. Yeah, a lot of quick shots here. Bo-Katan. I don't know. She's flying again. You got Grogu hiding. More asteroid stuff. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, it looks like they've built some kind of an outpost or something on an asteroid of some sort.
Yeah.
Looks to be that. That's all part of that same sequence. So
it's interesting that the Razor Wing has green blasters rather than red.
Does it really? Jonesy, I don't know
use
that
your,
I like working on a
use your
Windows,
space bar.
Windows
That's what I'm telling you. Use your space bar for play and pause.
Okay. Shut them all down. Another protocol droid. I'm trying to get the green lasers. I told you I don't want to wear the damn mask. I don't see it. I believe you, though.
We got to go back more frames than that.
You're killing me, Mr. Jones. All right, let me go back here.
There you go. Play from there and you'll see
All right, here we go. Green lasers coming up. Oh, yep. Did it have green lasers in black? I don't remember anymore.
No, they were red. I'm pretty sure they were red. Because I think in the toy, I'm trying to remember the Naboo Starfire toy. I think they came with red lasers that popped out.
Well, they were red in episode 1.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe he modified them or Peli modified them. Maybe Tika stole them and I'm kidding. This protocol droid, is this the same one that Grief Karga had?
It might be.
Or is this just a typical protocol droid that's floundering and panicking?
And then it doesn't matter.
Yeah. In the end, it doesn't matter. You're right. Okay, here's Mando shooting something. Very cool.
Okay, but so what's interesting about that is that on the background, you see the window has like that circular, it looks to be the same type of room that the armorer came into when she was whacking people on the back of the head. Because it had that kind of circular structure around the door frames and stuff. So I'm wondering if it's the same, that same sequence, and maybe they're together in that sequence for some reason, or maybe I don't know, maybe they're chasing one another in some way.
So maybe, so let's think about that. So what if it's, maybe it's a rescue? Maybe there are people of the Watch that have been taken captive and Mando is trying to help her. And that's why they infiltrate this little Corran base or wherever this is. And they're trying to rescue those people. And this is how he's going to get some favor.
Or what if, what if she is storming Navarro?
What?
For some reason.
I don't know.
Because, I mean, this is pretty bright and kind of cleanish. And again, she doesn't come to the surface very often.
Sorry, Alex asked the question. What's the difference between green and red lasers?
They're different colors.
Yes. And the green ones smell like apple and the red ones smell like licorice.
Oh, no, they smell like strawberries. Strawberries.
Yeah, I mean, it could be one or the other. I'm down with this theory. Whatever it is, it's a very clean room. Like you said, that's important to note, I think. You know, it's not dingy, so it's nothing ex-Empire.
But then he's taking out his blaster and shooting something more or less on the ground. He's probably shooting Grogu.
Yep, that's what we're going with.
So last time you pushed that button. But see, again,
he's gonna push it again here in a little bit.
What are they storming? Because they look like
the same building to me.
It seems similar, doesn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go with rescue of some sort.
Well, but again,
or base infiltration. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, go back to the dropship, right? So if you have the Watch coming from the dropship, are they dropping onto Navarro? I mean, you can go a bunch. I mean, I'm acting like you tonight. Jeez.
Yeah, I don't know what got into you tonight, but yeah,
I don't know. Everything's you've redone your studio, and the whole world is upside down. You're on a Windows machine. I don't know what to do.
I don't even know you anymore. Exactly. Okay, we got another quick rapid fire of shots here.
Darth Grogu coming out.
Yeah, it comes down the what is it?
The
landing ramp. Yeah, the steam coming down. It's like very
But
Vader-esque.
But look at his pram. It's black. It's like that matte black now. I'm telling you, Lord Grogu.
Who knows? Maybe it is. Maybe he's gone to the dark side proper.
Now I can't tell what the figure is behind him though.
Yeah, I was like, well, okay, maybe it's Mando. I don't think it's Mando. Like the way it looks. I mean, you get a very quick shot. It's in the shadow. You can barely see it there. It almost looks like a Wookiee.
I thought it looked feminine, but okay, those two are the same.
To me, it's got like thin legs.
I thought
then at the bottom.
Uh-huh. I thought it was like Bo-Katan. I mean, granted, it didn't look blue, but this is a pretty shadowy shot.
Yeah, maybe it is Bo-Katan. It's just the feet go out. The feet look like she's wearing they're wearing like bell bottoms, and the only feet that come to mind are like Wookiee feet. But maybe it's that Wookiee. That's Black Chrysanthemum. Let's just call it that. This is them again. More quality time flying around in hyperspace, pops and sun. This is the cool shot. I mean, look at that. That's the shot I was talking about with R5D4 in the back there.
Right. Yeah, gone is Grogu's little canopy.
So this means, well, no, wait, let me think about that. The Naboo fighters, I can't remember if they had a hyperdrive.
Yes, they did.
Okay, so they wouldn't need an astromech droid. So why would he have R5 in the back?
Well, but they had a R2 unit before, though. So for repairs or for optimization?
Maybe.
Because, the Starfighters had droids, too.
Yeah. But he's never taken one. I don't know. I love the fact that R5 is now, like, going to have more to do, right?
Now part of the team.
Part of the tribe.
He's more than just a bad motivator.
What I thought was interesting about this shot, well, the fact that he's in it is cool, right? But as they pull away, what the heck ship is this? Like, it doesn't look like anything that I can think of. Look at the head of the nose of it. It's almost like a curved.
Does that look like the ship that it might be like a fisheye type of camera, but does that almost look like the ship that Bo-Katan stole from the Imperials? Well, no, that's a weird.
Oh, no.
But it looks like a knife in the front.
That's what I'm saying. Look, it looks like it's got a pointed tip on there.
Huh. Maybe it's not a ship. Maybe it's from Glavis.
I don't know.
It
looks like no, I don't know. It's hard to. I've never seen anything like it. It looks so different. Look, you see how that?
Oh, it's definitely a ship. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it looks really cool crazy. Though. It looks very different. I'm gonna keep playing that over and again, but yeah, as they pull away. So yeah, they're pulling away from some ship that they've taken some shots at. But
and for those listening, it's almost like a beak. Like if you think of like a beak on a bird that kind of droops down, very much like that.
Or go look for the spaceship that's used by G-Force or Battle of the Planets.
Right. I was about to say, go look at Battle of the Planets,
and it looks like that ship at the front, which is supposed to look like a bird or a hawk of some sort.
Right.
There's Grogu pushing the button, hitting the hyper, the nitrous oxide, and the Razor Wing. Funny stuff. Mando flying into the asteroid field, and then finally,
the money shot.
Yeah.
Okay, so this ship right here, does that not look like a gauntlet?
It does with the wings forward.
Yeah, and the little V in the front, and the circular type of whatever it is in the back, like where the engine is at.
Yep,
and the cockpit.
Tell people.
No, go ahead, please.
I was just going to say those are those ships that we saw them in. We saw them in Rebels. We saw them in Clone Wars. But they're the ships that the Mandalorians would fly around in.
Right, and they're the ones with the wings like go vertical, right?
Yes, they come up and then they go back down when they're flying.
Right, and so this is the ship. And again, if you look at the scenery around it, again, this very kind of gray palette, but lots of clouds. I don't know if the smoke or just clouds, and when we had the ship streaking in from the side, when it turns just a little bit, it has a bit of this profile to it. But again, that's not why we're looking at this screen. This appears to be the remnants of Mandalore, though.
Oh yeah. I think everybody took that as the as the case as well, because in the trailer everyone starts screaming. But I was trying to think of the name of the capital, because we saw it in, I think in Rebels. Was it Sundari? I don't remember. Let's do research on the fly. Whatever the capital is, right? it was a dome at one point. You remember what I'm talking about?
Right. Yep.
And this, you can almost see what
very
looks
good.
like
Sundari.
Was it Sundari? So if you look at if you look at it, it looks circular, like the Capitol itself. Of course, the dome is now gone. It looks like it's been obliterated. Or
You can still see some
whatever.
of the structure, though. Yeah.
But yeah, you can see it. It looks round, like circular in a way here. And you can see the structure, like you said, up here. So that's what I get. Either way, this is super exciting because it does look like we're definitely going to Mandalore, and we are going to get to see and understand what exactly happened to it. We'll get some confirmation on our theories as to whether or not it was Imperial entanglements that brought its demise, or we had talked to maybe there was what happened to the mythosaurs and all that. Of course, we're not going to see all that, but I think this is really exciting stuff, man. I'm just glad that we're going to get to go back, and I think it provides more weight into some of the other theories that we threw out there about, are they going down a path of bringing Mandalore together?
Before.
What's that?
After. Before.
Oh, you're showing it. Sorry. Yeah. Exactly. There you go.
And
Yeah,
after. No, that's concept art, but that's it's kind of the clearest picture we have of it.
Yeah. Well, that's how it looked in. I don't know if that's the concept art from Rebels.
I believe it is. Yeah. So clearly, it looked very different, like in this when it's a city and everything. But yeah.
Look at that! I can just reach behind me and pull my Art of Rebels book out.
Wow. And this is a new era.
I'm telling you, everything's different now. Everything is different. Nothing's the same.
Except
I'm not going to find it.
How difficult this edit's going to be. That's the same.
Yeah, I was trying to pull up some pictures of. I'm just going to look at this book online while you talk. That was the exciting part for me because it's just further confirmation of what we're going to get to see.
But let me ask you though. Let me ask you though. Are we going to get to Mandalore sooner rather than later in the season though? It kind of feels like it, doesn't it?
I think so. Yeah, I say that because, you got to get out of the way. It is from I just found it. Look, here it is. I'll show it. Look, my camera. Well, now I can't see anything. There we go. See that?
There you go.
Yep, right out of the book. Art of Star Wars Rebels. You can pick this up, but no, I'm kidding. I think they're going to I don't think they're going to hold off and wait for mid-season and the end of the season. Like, we all know we're going there. They've already teased it up for the trailer. I think it would be an injustice for them to make us wait for episode 9 or whatever before we get to it. But
and again, you want to. And when you get there, you don't want it to be instant gratification of they find a mythosaur, right? No, you want to build up that suspense about what are they finding? What are the things that they find that maybe they're not expecting or that we're not expecting? Mm-hmm. And how do what's that adventure look like? And again, all these scenes with Grogu and Bo-Katan is very interesting if it's just the two of them and not with Mandalorian around. So if Din is out doing something else, why are they together? And what mission are they kind of on? Or maybe they just got separated, but it seems like they are doing something intentional though.
Well, I like that idea of being separated. Maybe all three of them were together and they got separated. And so now you've got Grogu and Bo-Katan trying to catch up with Mando, I think I can see that. Be an interesting dynamic to see them together, Bo-Katan and Grogu spending time. Because I think if anybody's going to, win the heart over of, because she really hasn't spent any time with him,
Right.
So he's cute,
Well, again, I'm actually kind of curious about the armorer's interaction with Grogu as well. To see what that looks like. Because she's seen the creature. This is the creature that all the hullabaloo is about, but what does that look like over time as she starts to interact more with them? And I'm also really curious why they come back together in the first place with Din and the armorer. Mm-hmm. Is he just coming back to plead more, or did he find something and now he's gone back to say, no, this does exist. Please come check it out. Come with me and raid my friend's place on Navarro. It's cool. You can crash on the couch or what, Yeah. But those are the things, like, what are the sequence of events? And this is the thing that's always difficult with trailers, is which sequence of events are we going to see and who is involved and when? And then, of course, as you put earlier, what are throwaway moments and what are actually, important moments to stick in the back of our head that remember when we get a little bit further into the season.
Right.
But Albert, the question everybody really wants to know is, when are we going to get this trailer, for real, for the general public, not just for the lucky few who were in the celebration Celebration stage.
Well, if it's like any of the other ones, we'll never get this trailer, right? This will be exclusive, and we may see some of the same footage later
Right.
on as the official trailer, but I don't think we'll ever see this in this version of the trailer or incarnation of the trailer, because there's stuff in here that they probably could cut out. We could tell that they really just spliced a lot of stuff together. There's a lot of like exciting moments without necessarily giving us the story. It was a lot of just shots. And when we get our official trailer, they're going to give us some. They're going to be stitched together so we can kind of understand the premise of the whole series, or at least the first couple of episodes. Um, so yeah, I would expect, though, we're not going to get a full trailer here for quite a while. What did they say on this one?
Well, and yeah, that's that was my next point. That
Yeah.
Remember they said that it was coming late 2022, early 2023. So let's say that late 2022 is no earlier than Thanksgiving. So that's roughly 4 months from now, and maybe as late as February. So that's another, call it 6 or 7 months. So I mean that means we're not getting a legit trailer probably until after. Maybe, do you think we'll get one after Andor is done? I mean, because Andor is going to go for a while, right? So Andor is end of August, and Andor is how many episodes? 12?
12 episodes.
So that's 3 months.
Yeah.
So I mean, that takes you to the beginning of December, right?
Right.
Is my math right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
to the beginning.
so the other way to look at it is like, okay, so for other series, like think about Andor. How much have we gotten? We're a month away from Andor, right? And we still don't have very much at all. Like we've got a trailer finally, but they seem to be hitting around that 45, 60-day mark when they release something. So doing the math, I mean, we're months away before we get anything official, which just makes sense.
Yeah, and the hype train for Andor, I think we're probably another 2 weeks away before they start hitting it really hard.
Yeah. So yeah, I think there's some time. I mean, there's going to be definitely some time that's going to have to pass before we get anything.
Right.
Could we get more casting decisions and official confirmations and stuff like that? I think that probably is likely to happen. We may get more concept art, more teaser stuff, but an actual meaty trailer, I think we're months away before we get that. And there's still a lot of Star Wars between now and then. What is the?
I mean, because
we haven't had
Bad Batch too.
Yeah, exactly. But we've not had Disney. What was it? A couple years ago, 3 years ago now, I think. In the fall, wasn't it in December when they did the Disney Day Plus thing or whatever it was? And
yeah, Disney Plus Day.
Yeah, I'm not sure when that's coming up. Right, there may be opportunities for things like that where they have special one-time events where we may get it, or maybe another investor call. They may talk about something.
Right.
But to answer your question, yeah, it's going to be a while.
Yeah, but I mean, the cool thing is for as late as Mandalorian season 3 is going to premiere, this trailer looked fantastic. It looked done. I mean, it looked like it was done and finished in a lot of different ways. And it didn't necessarily look like the first 2 episodes. I mean, and that's usually what we see in these beginning trailers is just first 2, maybe a little that 3rd episode.
Right.
But this one looked like it had a lot of story elements already intertwined in it. And now it might be more early on, but again, I think we've got a really good setting. And I think what it did really well as a trailer, I think it really started to get people excited about where they're going, and that there is this mystery type of that it's almost like a mystery show this time around of going and uncovering things, uncovering the secrets of the past type of thing, if you want to think of it that way.
Yeah.
And uncovering what still lurks beneath the surface. And so that kind of classic, mystery vibe and what's the word? I'm kind of looking for like a detective type of show in some ways. And so I'm kind of looking forward to that. A little bit different spin on it, but still clearly Mandalorian through and through.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of dimensions to this. We've got the the aspects of, like you mentioned, of what happened to Mandalore, piecing that together, right? We've got all of the contention that exists between the different tribes and sects of the Mandalorians. We know that's going to play into it.
All the drama.
And that's, I mean, the Mandalorians, if nothing else, are known for the freaking drama and always constantly fighting and going to war. So we're going to be contending with that aspect of it. We've got the contention that exists with the Darksaber, with Bo-Katan, and Mando, maybe even other leaders from some of the other tribes as well, right? They may be all trying to stake a claim to this thing now that it's out and about and it's resurfaced again, right? Because Mando's running around with it. We don't know what that's going to bring. We saw Teva in there, or Tiva. So that is, the New Republic part of it. We had bits and pieces of that at the very end of season 2 with him going to Cara Dune and, proposing, hey, why don't you come join the New Republic? We know that was going to spin off that whole Rangers of the New Republic thing, or at least that's the rumor anyways. They could be still trying to figure out how to intertwine that in it as well. I don't know if this kicks off anything else. I don't know that we're going to get, Luke, but, we might have other cameos that come in as well. I think they've had, season 2 had quite a few cameos, but there may be opportunities there for other characters. And going back to what you said, I do think this is really kind of like the first couple of episodes. I think they're going to pull the Band-Aid off and just give us Mandalore, and we're going to get there. And that'll be the kind of the setting for where we, play out at least the second half of the season. That's at least what I'm hoping we do, because I think there's a lot there needs to be explored. So I think there's still some surprises that we're not seeing yet, which is pretty exciting.
Right.
But yeah, let's leave it there. I mean, we'll be talking about this more. We definitely wanted to just kind of bring this to you guys, talk about it, give you our thoughts on what we were seeing, and maybe piece together some stuff if we could. But yeah, I'm excited. I mean, you and I didn't get to see this because we had terrible luck at getting into any of the panels this year, as opposed to Celebration in Chicago.
Right.
But yeah, definitely was exciting to see. And again, this is the trailer, the one we showed tonight. If you're tuning in late or whatever, this is the one that was leaked just about 2 weeks ago. So it's got additional footage. So if you saw the first one, go back and watch this one. Come back and listen to the breakdown and all that. It's kind of fun and exciting.
All right, time for shout outs. So
Yay.
If you're listening to the show, we apologize for all of the inconsistencies with stopping and showing and talking about the live stream, but that means we have a live stream that you can come watch, and where we sometimes have a show and tell, sometimes we have a visual, and on these types of shows, of course, we have the still images, or we kind of script to the video to show you what we're talking about. We kind of walk through it together, and we do an interactive chat. So if you're interested in coming out, typically we would do this on Tuesdays and Thursdays, a little bit of a special show due to the chaos in life right now, but Tuesdays and Thursdays is typically the day. You can get all the news and keep up to date on cantinacast.com, and more specifically, cantinacast.com/events. If you want to come chat with us, cantinacast.com/discord. And in the chat tonight, huge thank you to Jonathan, Lauren, Sky, Kara, great to see you again, Cole, Eugene, Alex, Sam, and Steph came in at the end. Thank you, everyone, for all of the great chat, all the great comments, all of the funny comments as well. We really appreciate you all being there. And again, if you are currently a Patreon or thinking about being a Patreon, please go look at those extra tiers, because we are going to do a top 3 of Rogue One. So if you are a passionate Rogue One fan, this might be your opportunity to be invited onto the show and to give us some of your thoughts as well. And we pick a few people out to do that. And again, we will do a special pin giveaway for those that appear on the show as a thank you and kind of a souvenir. So cantinacast.com/Patreon if you are interested in checking that out.
Did you catch Jorge Castro?
No, I didn't. Did Jorge come in?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
He had like one comment, but
and then Chris Gassler also hit us a like on Facebook. I know he's always kind of listening in the background, can't always chat, but yeah. So thanks, Chris, for tuning in as well.
Yes. Awesome. Okay, we have another show that we're going to do in a couple of days, and I promise probably in the next week or so, or at least in the next week, we'll get our life back on track here. So stick around for the announcement on that. And we've got a Patreon that will come back to you, and then, of course, we'll pick this up next week with a couple more episodes. But we're getting real close to Andor, so, we're going to start kind of digging into some of the material, starting with that Rogue One episode like Jonesy mentioned. But we've got some stuff to break down for Andor very soon as well. And we've got some books to talk about. We haven't. You have yours up somewhere?
Which one?
And the Scoundrel.
Oh no, it's in the kitchen.
Okay, I think that comes out this week, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the embargo's lifted on that one, so that's out. Yeah, Princess and the Scoundrel is where Han and Leia get married on board the Halcyon. Hilarity ensues. It's actually it's a very attractive book. I love the actual hardboard is blue, and so very attractive book. Yeah, it's light blue.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice that. Look at that. That's a cute blue.
It works really well with the color palette and the color and the
cerulean blue.
Oh, is that what that is? Or you're just being all fancy? Man, I seriously don't even know you anymore.
It's from an X-Files episode. So
oh, okay.
It's a deep.
All right. Well, now I know you.
No, yeah, exactly. I don't fall far from the tree there. Okay. Well,
it's like that movie Dreamcatcher. Like, so your nickname is Jonesy, obviously, right? But there's a line in the movie Dreamcatcher. It's like, you're not Jonesy.
Is that where your name's from?
No, it's not from that. But that movie came out while I was in high school, like soon after I got the nickname.
Oh.
And so that was always a follow on from all of that.
Your name's not Jonesy. I'm going to use that. I'll spring it on here last minute at some point. They got married. Yeah, they got married, you dummy. Then what do you think?
They also had a child.
They had
Spoiler
a child
alert.
too, dude. Go watch the sequel trilogy. Then come back.
And then wait for him to come back to life in Albert's fanfic.
Okay. Thanks for everybody that joined the live show and listening to this. Hopefully Jonesy edits this so he's not as piecemeal as it is. But
nope.
But it was fun. Thanks, guys. We'll see you guys, let's see, in a couple days for another episode.
You're still listening? Wow, that's amazing. Well, I'm here to give you the disclaimer. Normally we do a big, long, drawn-out disclaimer thing saying what's what and who's what and all that other stuff, but I think you guys kind of know that Lucasfilm and Disney have no affiliation with us at all, and we have none with them. We talk about Star Wars, which is their property and all that other good, fun stuff, but I think you can tell which is our stuff and which is their stuff. If you can't, well, then send a lawyer to send an email to me, and I'll be glad to chat with them. Other than that, you know what's what, so that's your disclaimer.